The 7 stars have answered my prayer. Hello everybody, how's it going? Lord Josh here once again, and it's a very special day for me here today. I have just received my Northern Dipper Talismanic Amulet in the post. And it's come with a certificate of authenticity, and I want to read it to you. It's fascinating. It says here, "We guarantee that this product consistently emits energy vortexes in its entire life, and the energy does not diminish. It also exudes never-ending transferable healing chi," chi is obviously energy, "through solid bodies, surrounding spaces, and even on the person who is in direct contact with it. This auspicious feng shui product is enhanced, energized, and renewed constantly by the energy field, thus making it more powerful and effective." So of course I'm very honored to be able to get my hands onto such a powerful item. Many of you will be asking the question, how come you haven't done this before? Well, I wasn't aware that Northern Dipper amulets actually existed. As a lot of you know, I work closely with the celestial bodies, and I work very closely with the Northern Dipper, which is often wrongly considered to be a constellation. In fact, it's an asterism. And I've been looking into methods and ways of actually getting more in tune with these stars, because sometimes you can see them in the physical sky, sometimes you cannot. And you have to kind of be resourceful, and you have to understand that there are different methods of approaching the same situation and getting the same result. So with this amulet, now I have this assurance, this guarantee, that I can work with the Dipper under any conditions, no matter the weather, time of year, light pollution, you name it. I can still work with these energies now that I've got this beautiful talismanic charm. And I have a feeling it's going to completely up my game and put me in a whole new field of practice. A lot of people aren't aware of how powerful the 7-star system actually is, because if you research the mythology, the Taoist practices, most especially the feng shui, you'll see that there are actually 9 stars with a deity that guards each one. They're called star lords. There's 2 invisible stars known as Fu and Bai. And the invisible ones emit what the Taoists call a dark light, almost like an anti-light. And only those who have cultivated themselves to high spiritual awareness can decode these 2 final stars. And I'm by no means suggesting that I'm able to do that at this present time, but that's the reason that I've purchased this amulet, because I want to get to that level where I can say, yes, I can see these 2 stars, and you can visibly see them branching off from the Dipper in the night sky. And this is how to cultivate your energies to get to that supreme level. So I think I'll be able to accomplish that in due time. But these amulets also work closely with getting rid of bad fortune, because the 7 stars are considered the accountants of the heavens. They keep records on all living mortals. So if you do something bad or something negative to somebody else, you will be given what is called karmic debt. And what do you do with debt? You've got to pay it back. So you've got to remember, when you are being watched and observed by these accountants, these heavenly celestial accountants, you've got to make sure that they're on your side. You've got to win over their trust and ensure that nothing bad is going to happen to you. So I want to keep in good grounds, have a really good bond and relationship with these stars. And I hope it transfers to my viewers as I'm wearing this amulet, and as I have the energies of these stars with me. I want it to transfer to you, the viewer, as you watch, so you know what to expect. And obviously, because it has the 12 zodiac system built into it, it's very good for keeping your energy safe from some of the more malevolent, unlucky stars that will try to mess around with your plans. And of course you have the Tai Chi symbol, aka the 3 harmony, which resembles and gives you the power of ultimate harmony and balance, which is awesome because it's also coupled with the lotus flower. And the lotus flower in Buddhist mythology, as well as Taoist, because it was kind of borrowed from the same place, it basically refers to the idea that you have this flower which grows from muddy ponds. But at the same time, even though it grows from a particularly nasty place, an unsightly place, it ends up being this beautiful flower, this wonderful thing. So from dark places, we as people can arise to see the light. That's basically the philosophy behind that. And of course, also this amulet will protect you from any kind of psychic attack that people are trying to dish out to you. as many of you will know, if you are a practitioner, particularly if you walk the grey path, if you walk the middle path and you're not polarized to either black or white, you will get a lot of heat from both sides. People will say you've got to do this, you've got to do that, you've got to choose between left and right, and I never do. I like to stay in the center and focus my energies on walking the middle path because I feel that that path is the most efficient. So with this amulet, I can really own my skills and keep myself protected from those who wish to do me harm. And basically what this amulet does is it enables me to prevent wealth loss, it blows away bad luck, and you can also carry it around, put it under your pillow, keep it on a doorknob, etc. And it will always bring those positive energies to you, and also those grey energies, which is what I desire. Well, allow me to read out to you the protecting star lords and which zodiac they directly correspond to. So number 1, Lord Tan Lang governs the luck and protects the zodiac rat. Very important. Lord Ju Men governs the luck and protects the zodiac's ox and pig. Lord Lu Kun governs the luck and protects the zodiac's tiger and dog. Lord Wen Chu governs the luck and protects the zodiacs of the rabbit and rooster. Lord Lian Zhen governs the luck and protects the people of zodiacs of dragon and monkey. Lord Wu Chu governs the luck and protects the people of zodiacs snake and goat. And number 7, the final one, Lord Po Jun governs the luck and protects the people of the zodiac horse. And it's also important to remember this, that the reason why they call a lot of the star and planetary systems zodiac houses is because when they pass through certain phases, they believe that gods inhabit and have resting places. They essentially go to rest in these stars as they go about their universal journeys. So they call them houses, as the gods rest in the mansions or the houses. It's quite interesting. There's so much to it when you really dig deep into the mythology of actually how a lot of these particular deities. And I mean, I was just reading the other day about the phoenix and how similar in appearance the phoenix is to the vermilion bird. But the vermilion bird is such a different mythological creature, but it's so easy for us Westerners to look at them and think they're the same solely based off of physical appearance, but they're actually very different spiritually. And also, this amulet is fantastic, a fantastic antidote for anger, bad temper, dealing with self-control issues. Now, typically for me, I don't have a lot of issues with anger. I'm very much, very good at keeping myself in control, mastering myself, keeping my emotions in check, because I'm always observing how I'm feeling. And I can detach my physical mind, my actual being, from an emotion. I can say, do I really want this in my life? No, of course I don't. I can focus on something much more important than that. So typically, anger is not something I deal with, but I do have an issue with being too invested in a lot of my commitments, and I feel that, in my personal opinion, my work ethic is this: if you have a job to do, if you have a duty to do, make sure it's done right the first time. Don't have to go over it and tart it up and do it again. Therefore, obviously, you haven't completed your task properly and you're cutting corners. So for me, do it right the first time and make sure it's done. And I think this amulet will also enable me to have more energy, more stamina, because I typically am a person who has a lot of intensity and energy anyway, but I want more of that. I want to be able to have even less sleep than 4 hours a night. Typically sleep about 4 hours. I want less because I regard sleep to be a total waste of time. So if I can get all these things done, I'll be getting even more writing done, more literature, more videos, and that'll be great for the people out there who are watching and reading. So I suppose you could say that my uses for this amulet are very varied, because if you look back into the Three Kingdoms period, you will see that Zhuge Liang had created the 7-star altar in Romance of the Three Kingdoms novel. He was said to have used that altar for his weather magic to procure the winds at the Battle of Chibi, the Red Cliffs. So if he was using the 7-star system to procure and summon those natural elements, I want to see what it will do for me as I'm standing on my own 7-star altar wearing my own Taoist robes, holding the feng shui sword and all the items. I will also now incorporate this beautiful, wonderfully made talisman around my neck, and I want to see if the velocity and the tenacity of the winds that I summon will be greater than the ones I've summoned before. And I've got a huge feeling they will be, because I've got a video coming up in the future where I want to not just focus on air, I want to also summon rains and conjure storms, lightning storms, and I feel that this amulet is going to put me in the right direction in accomplishing that goal. If you go back and you watch my weather ceremony from September of last year, you will see in the early stages of the video, I was walking this zigzag formation. And that is a very obscure ritual dance known as pacing the 7 stars, or walking the magical steps, in which the practitioner solemnly paces and tries to part the heavens. And as he walks, he manifests and imagines in his own mind that he is actually walking through heaven. So it's like a walking meditation almost. This is known in Taoism as the Bugak. Some people pace the magical squares, others pace the hexagrams of the I Ching oracle system. But I think there's a particular power in tracing those 7 stars and actually walking the formation of them. And I have plans in the future of making a video tutorial on the different walks of the Taoist traditions. But the reason why I have the amulet, it's also to enable me to pace these stars, to walk these steps, and be more in tune with the frequencies that are coming through and the energies that are coming through in that time. It's a very, very powerful thing. It's a lot more potent than simply sitting down and meditating. As you're moving around, your body feels like it's being played as an instrument. It feels very divine. And I'm hoping, and I do believe, that the amulet will enable that to become even more intensified. And of course, a lot of my Western viewers won't be familiar with how much it costs usually. If you want to get a Fu-based talisman, now Fu are those pieces of rectangular paper that you often see hanging or being stuck on a Taoist altar. If you wanted to get 7 Fu, and Fu roughly translates to a talisman, a charm in the English language. So getting 7 Fu inscribed with the Northern Dipper deities would probably cost you, I would say, about $1,000. So a lot of people would say that's too much for me, especially if you're already down on your luck, you wouldn't want to spend that much. But with these amulets, it's fantastic because they still use them today in the Taoist traditions. A lot of the Tao Shis and the priests will use them for their yearly luck-enhancing rituals because they contain the 12 zodiac system, as well as the Laughing Buddha, which is helpful for happiness as well. So it's fantastic, and I'm so happy to receive this. I'm very grateful and honored. And it's amazing to think that Zhuge Liang, almost 2,000 years ago, would have used a similar system, probably a similar kind of talismanic charm, to evoke the energies of the Dippers in an effort to prolong his life by 12 years. It's fantastic. So I feel blessed to know that, and I want to get to work. I've got a lot of work ahead of me, and I'll surely keep you updated. So thank you for watching, everybody. Take care. I'll see you soon.